grab it? David, could you grab another chair?
Yep.
Sorry. All right, got a busy agenda tonight, thanks for coming, we'll try to do the best we can to move through these quickly. Let's just keep the crosstalk to a minimum, silence your phones as best you can. We gotta take a call, we'll step out in the hallway. We're gonna skip around a little bit, try to get all the hearings out of the way first. The first hearing, request of termination applicability. The Gardner Conservation Commission will hold a joint public hearing under chapter 131, section 40 of the Wetlands Protection Act in the City of Gardner Wetlands Protection Ordinance on the request for determination of applicability filed by Haley and Ward Incorporated on behalf of FWP Realty Partners LLC. The proposed project is set off Crestwood Drive, map W22-621A for the construction of a single-family home residential with associated driveway, grading, utilities. This request is to determine whether portions of the proposed work will be subject to the areas of jurisdiction. Is somebody here to represent that?
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. My name is Anthony Cleaves. I'm with Haley Ward here on behalf of FWP Realty. Also with me tonight is Matt Morrow, environmental consultant. So we reviewed the site. It's a vacant lot between 146 and 166 Crestwood Drive on the south side, existing developed neighborhood. This is an undeveloped lot, steeply sloped from front to back. On the west side of the property, there's an existing municipal stormwater outfall on the west side, left side if you're looking at the plan in front of you.
Do you have copies for us?
I do.
Good.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I got it. Thank you. I also brought copies of GIS if you want to see where it is in relation to the neighborhood. Happy to pass that out if you need that. If you're not familiar.
Yeah, you might as well pass them out, you brought them, take them.
Perfect, thank you. So in reviewing the vacant lot, again, Mr. Morrow went, checked out some of the vegetation, soils on the lot and in the immediate area, and didn't find anything that seemed jurisdictional to the Wetlands Protection Act. What you have in front of you is the water sewer clearance plan, what we plan to do with the lot. Again, on the left-hand side of the plan is where that existing stormwater outfall is, planning to extend that as what was intended on the original subdivision plan. There's an easement that was there. The pipe should have been extended all the way to the back of the lot. It wasn't. So we'll extend that as part of this and then put in a single-family home, similar to how the ones on either side of it are, filling in the front portion there, walkout basement out to the back to work with the existing grading. That's a brief overview. If you have any comments or questions?
Anybody have any questions?
When is this discharged to?
Yeah, he's asking where the outfall is,
Yeah,
or
where
what
is
is
it
it
going?
discharging to?
So it goes out to the back, out to the grade, and then runs eventually, let's see. You probably have to go for a little bit than I am. Here's a quad map. So we have the subject lot, here's the subdivision.
Yeah.
That's the lot here, so then it just dumps and then just continues, eventually making it to a wetland, kind of off of Murdoch Pond outfall.
Oh, okay.
Way back there, but a
Yeah.
couple hundred feet away before we get to any wetland areas.
Scott, you walked it, you didn't see anything either, and you took some soil samples, it sounds like.
Yeah, what I did, I took inventory of what was not there for vegetation more than what was there. So there were no hydrosoils present in the channel or on the sides of the channel. The vegetation that was there was kind of sparse. A couple of facultative ferns here and there, but nothing to write home about definitely. It's definitely, the channel was carved out from the pipe, which is sticking
Yeah.
way up high, and the outfall is coming from the double catch basin that catches the water on that street, right on the road.
Yeah, and our improvements on the drainage, well, actually, it will be an improvement, where right now, as Matt alluded to, there's just a drop, the pipe is just super elevated and it just drops, so we're gonna put in a drop manhole to transition that elevation down, and then we're gonna put a riprap, at the end of the new pipe to help dissipate that energy, so it should be an improved condition as well.
The bigger pipe,
15 inch, which is what's there now, we're just extending what's there now.
I mean, I know the area, I walked it too, I don't see anything that's in question.
no.
Anybody? You guys all look at it, you know where it is, right?
I didn't know there was a vacant lot there.
Yeah. Yeah, if you go by there, you don't really notice it.
Oh, really, no. 'Cause that's, God, that was done 25 years ago at least.
Oh, way more than that.
Yeah.
You got nothing?
No.
No, good. All right, no, maybe we'll do the negative, there's nothing to it.
Yeah, it'd probably be a -2 because it wouldn't affect anything under jurisdiction.
Someone like to make a motion to approve a -2 determination? A -2. Someone like to second that motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much for your time, we appreciate it.
Thanks, guys, we'll see you.
Thank you.
Give us some time to process that paperwork and.
Yeah, sure, I appreciate it, thank you.
Yeah. We're gonna have to sign while we keep going though, cause it's pretty back now here. The next, is a notice of intent, Manica Drive. The Gardner Conservation Commission will reopen a joint public hearing under MGL Chapter 131, Section 40 in the Wetlands Protection Act and City of Gardner Wetlands Protection Ordinance. A notice of intent filed by Mr. Alan Glanzer for the installation of self-storage buildings incorporated landscaping, driveways and drainage improvements located at Manica Drive, Gardner, M17191. This project is located within the buffer recording vegetated wetland and outer riparian zone. It's DEP 1600660. Your name is?
Justin Leclaire, McCartney Engineering, here tonight on behalf of the applicant. So at the last meeting, Commission was pretty satisfied with the changes that were made. 3 of the changes that the Commission had asked for was to have this pipe relocated, this building section here pulled away from the 60-foot no structure, and then native species along the front. So this is a revised plan that we had sent to Justin. So you can see we did relocate the pipe from here. Now we have the outfall going out this way. Here's just 60-foot no structure, so it's fully outside. We did pull the building away from the 60-foot here. Before we were probably a foot off that buffer, now we're 3 feet from it. And then we did have the landscape architect do a revised landscape plan. I didn't put it on the board, but he did swap out all the plantings for native. So, that's the changes. Any questions?
Remind me again where you're gonna put snow?
So, snow will be off the sides, a couple landscape here, but the applicant also contracts some
Oh, that's right,
private
takes
to
it
come in
off-site.
and take it off-site. So it'd be temporarily on-site until they can come in and remove it.
So you're gonna, how are you gonna mark that area that's 3 feet off of the 60? Like, are you gonna, do
So,
they enter from both sides or just this one side, right?
this is both sides.
No,
So
I meant, I
that-
guess in those storage areas, the storage sheds themselves?
Ideally, this is probably the shortest run in,
Yep.
so they come in from here.
But they don't go, it's not a drive-through, like double door?
No,
That's my
so,
question
sorry, so the doors are only on the pavement side.
Okay.
So there's no access off the back of them.
And you moved that other, you moved the outfall out of the way?
Yep, so the outfalls now, we have riprap here that ties in to the outfall from the underground basin. So they're both discharging from the same spot. There again, just outside the 60-foot here, you can see limit of clearing, limit of grading. And the elevation of that outlet didn't really change all that much.
Okay.
Very awesome, right?
What?
It's
Oh,
all-
he did,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
he's always good to work with, he does,
Yeah.
he listens and he's trying to be flexible, I mean, I appreciate the 3 feet, I know.
Yeah.
Kind of a pain in the butt for 3 feet, but to us, you know, it makes a difference to us.
Yep, so when we did that, we did add a wall back in here outside the buffer, but just to
Yep.
make it
Yeah.
more accommodating to everyone. So that's pretty much it.
What, just to remind me, what's the elevation behind that row, right there?
Here,
What's the elevation change from the back of that to like, to the wetlands, 60?
980, yeah, so it's 980 and change, and then you're down at, call it 970.
So it's not too crazy,
Yeah,
okay.
Yep.
So maybe
and we'll
we,
maintain that existing grade in the back, obviously. And that's the way it's graded out. So you can see limit of grade here, limit
Yeah.
of grade here, and then we're maintaining this as natural grade just to limit the potential erosion back there.
yeah, and the pad you're gonna put that on isn't gonna encroach into that 60, right? We talked about that already.
Yep, we did, at the last meeting, I believe we talked about that.
Okay.
Yep.
Anybody have any questions or comments on that? Thank you, Justin, I appreciate that.
Yep.
And, you want to get out there and have them stake it before they do any construction, just to take another look, or?
Sure.
So, we did reach out to Andrysik Surveying. He got back to me this morning and said he'd be out there this week to stake the back here.
Yeah.
I know as part of the order conditions pre-construction meeting, so stakes would be out there. Obviously, if Justin goes out there, has any concerns, to bring him up and
Okay,
address it accordingly.
all right, you guys have any questions?
They did what they asked.
Yeah. So I'd like to make a motion to close the hearing for Nanka Drive.
I'll make that motion.
I'd like to second that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I think it's fine, you guys, you know, anybody has any adds to the order of conditions? Anything besides standard, I mean, you got anything you wanna add to this, the order of conditions? I'd like to keep it all for Ken, we can do everything.
No, I think we're good.
Good, good.
Yeah, yeah.
Someone like to make a motion to approve Nanka Drive with a standard order of conditions?
I'll make that motion. Oh, go ahead.
I'll make the motion. What?
Normally made it.
Someone like to second it?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, yeah, I know. All right, next on the agenda is 143 Colony Road. Gardner Conservation Commission will hold a joint public hearing under MGL Chapter 131, Section 40, Wetlands Protection Act. City of Gardner Wetlands Protection Ordinance and notice intent filed by All Purpose Storage Gardner LLC, represented by Chris Buda, Fieldstone Land Consultants, for work on parcel ID X 22 13 16, 8 through 14, 9 through 18 at 143 Colony Road. The project entails extension of the existing storage facility, including 7 storage containers, 4 of which are located within the buffer zone to the border of vegetated wetland. It's DEP 1600664, this is a continuance going back to 9/9/24 through tonight. Just so everybody's clear, Ken came out before us when we started, and there was some infill of wetlands. They went back out there, they did a great job of clearing out. How much did you take out, I ask all the time?
1,200 yards.
Of infill, it looks fantastic, so I, again, appreciate that. So if you wanna just kinda go over, whatever happened to our easel, that would be great. But
I don't think we have one.
we had one, but go ahead and
So
kinda,
there's only been one change since the meeting last week. We've moved the building, it's 2 feet offset from the 60-foot no build. That allows us to maintain a 27-foot aisle passageway between the existing building and the corner here proposed. This is where we're maintaining 2 feet separation. And everything else is, as we discussed last week with, we had the additional plantings that we revised based upon sun exposure concerns to high bush blueberry, to supplement the areas that have been seeded.
yeah,
And, so then the plan here is, it's all closed drainage with curbing to prevent any runoff of untreated stormwaters. And essentially, the design hasn't changed since the previous meeting, other than shifting that building location.
And you put split rail fence up, you put some signage up, just so the people that wasn't be allowed.
So split rail fencing around the perimeter here, 5 feet offset, so we have room for snow storage, and maintaining a access way here for any maintenance concerns with the stormwater pond.
Yeah. Anybody in the commission have any questions or anything?
Been a long process.
I know, but he's hung through it the whole time. So.
We're gonna miss you.
I'm gonna keep coming, just like that.
So if we move forward with this, what's the timing on this?
So they're looking towards probably late spring to start construction.
What's the duration, you think, from kind of start to finish?
Based on what I've seen with similar projects, they're usually 2 to 3 months.
Okay.
So the buildings are put in the same as they got there now, right? Basically the same, the steel building?
Yeah, it's just a steel frame building, they're pre-ordered on site and put onto a slab that's laid ahead of time.
All right. I think you did a great job, I think we got everything satisfied, it looks much better than what we first saw.
Yeah.
I like the idea, the plan, it cleans it up. I like that you're putting the split rail fence up and putting some signage up. You cleared all the trash out of there, all the parking that wasn't supposed to be there. I know it's new owners, so they had no idea, even if you did the research, and like we did GIS mapping and satellite, they would've had no idea, cause some of it just didn't line up with what we saw on site and what was on, the documents and what was available at the time of purchase, so. I say we move forward and.
Yeah. Looks good.
Someone would like to make a motion to approve, 143. Oh, I'm sorry, someone like to make a motion to close the hearing for 143 Colony Road.
I'll make that motion.
Someone like a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Someone like to make a motion to approve 143 with, standard order of conditions.
I'll make that motion.
Someone like to second that.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Give us some time to sign some paperwork and process it.
Absolutely, thank you so much.
Okay, no
Thank you.
Thanks for hanging in there. Looks great.
If you guys need additional hard copies, or give them
No, he said keep it. Huh? Just keep it, I'll take it. Thank you. Next on the agenda is 68 Acadia Road. The Gardner Conservation Commission will hold a joint public hearing under MGL Chapter 131, Section 40 of the Wetlands Protection Act. The City of Gardner Wetlands Protection Ordinance and notice of intent filed by Gross Engineering on behalf of Roy Copeland for the construction of a single-family home at 68 Acadia Road, DEP 160-0670. This is a continuance going back to September 9th, 2024. Thanks. Your name is?
My name is Josh Johnson, I'm with Gardner Engineering representing Roy Copeland on this project, 68 Acadia Road. So basically a quick overview is we've been before this commission, I believe twice before. There was an existing mobile home on site that's been torn down and we're proposing to replace it with a stick-built home with a slab on grade. The site is fairly flat, and what we're looking to do is basically the existing mobile home was 43.7 feet away, and we're looking from the wetlands, we're looking to stick to 43.9 feet, which is more conforming than the mobile home was. And in the last few meetings that we were at, you guys had made the determination that you wanted to see what ZBA had to say about it first, so we went before the ZBA twice, and ultimately they said that they cannot make a decision until the conservation makes their decision. So we're back here with this plan. Basically, you have the 30-foot no disturb zone. We're proposing to keep that silt fence no closer than 30 feet from the existing wetlands. The existing property's already disturbed basically down to the wetland covered type of lawn, and we're not proposing to disturb any further than that 30 feet. We will be 43.9 feet away from the wetlands,
Still on the
even though there's a 60-foot no build zone, but based on your bylaws, it appears that you are allowed to approve this as long as it's not any more detrimental to the wetlands, in your opinion.
So the thing is I get it, it's been pre-disturbed, so that's something, and it's lawn right now in that area, right?
Yep.
Just looking at this again, and as soon as I see the no build zone, and I see that's almost splitting that corner of the house off, that's our concern. And like you said, yes, it's under our decision and jurisdiction to make the determination here. And I'll let the rest of the commission speak as well. We're putting a house in where it's a no build and we're so close to that 30. How do we know that homeowner in the future is not gonna do any damage to the wetlands, and what this property being built on it in a no build zone, given, it's been previously disturbed, but, I mean, how do we protect this wetlands if we proceeded with putting a house where it says no build?
So in the past, we've done boundary markers of no disturb zones or wetland zones, so we've actually got some in the office. If we have an open, sometimes you can use the 6x6 posts with signs.
Yeah, but the signs would be in the middle of their house.
Well, I'm talking the 30-foot no disturb zone.
Yeah, no, but normally it's 60, so that's what we're kinda,
Well,
and they won't even be able to do any lawn maintenance, they can't put anything down, they can't have a garden with fertilizer in it that's not approved in front of conservation.
right, that's,
So what's happening is we have other areas in the city that are close to the no 60, but they're outside of it. And we even wrote in the deed about this 60, and we're still fighting that, and it's been 15, 18 years that we still have people coming not realizing that they have a lot with the no build zone in their backyard, and they wanna come before us and put decks and sheds and swing sets and you name it. So we're trying to figure out how would we do that, but commission members, please jump in and kind of, what are your thoughts here? I get it, it's a nice lot, it's disturbed already, it's not like we're out there and we're cutting down trees in the 60 that's never been disturbed before. What's everyone's opinion on this, like what?
My opinion is, we shouldn't let them move. We never let them in the past, and why should we start now?
the difference with this lot is that there was already an existing house there. It has the sewer hookup, it has the water coming in off the road, and because it had a structure there that was lived in and it's already been disturbed, you have the ability in your bylaws to approve this.
Yeah, we have the ability, but I mean, it's the right thing to do. We can't take into consideration some of the stuff I just brought up.
No,
That's the hardest part for us. David, what do you got, any update?
Yeah, well, I guess when you went to ZBA, I guess you still don't know if there's any wiggle room in terms of moving it closer to the road, or doing an L, or doing a 2-story.
So I was looking at that also a little bit, and last time Troy was here in front of you guys, he
Yeah.
showed you 4 different options, and all those options would get the structure further from the wetlands outside that 60-foot no disturb zone. But I was looking at those today, and the issue I'm seeing with those plans is that you have to put the driveway on the other side of the house, which would be closer to the wetlands. And I've always seen that driveways cause more runoff and pollution to the wetlands than the structure, so I'd rather keep that structure on the left side. And this plan is more conforming with the ZBA requirements.
And we just had 2 people move their structures to get 3 feet away from the 60.
Yep.
I'm at a loss on how to handle this it's not like we're in a corner of a building. And we're into, 18 feet or whatever of a house, 18 square feet of a house that's in a no build that's been previously disturbed. This is, a little over a quarter of the house is gonna be in the no build zone, right? And then you gotta dig back to make foundation, right?
Yep.
And what's that in the back, that square, right by 972, got a deck?
Yeah, that's not proposed, that's part of the original, the original structure that was there.
So is it still there?
No, that's all been removed.
So you're proposing a deck on top, back in there?
No, just the foundation that's shown is proposed. The area with the hatching.
Go ahead.
I mean, so the question for the commission is whether we want any part of a structure in it. Because in some of the earlier plans they gave us, there was much less in that 60. That's the first question, whether you want any of it. Because there is a plan you could do with less than half the house in 60. Question is whether we want to do that. Other building lots we've looked at, we've said you cannot have any of the house in the 60. This is quote unquote used before, so it's a little tricky, but.
Was it a permanent structure?
It was a trailer.
I know, but was it ever permitted?
No, there was no footings.
Yeah, but you still need to, electrical permit and sewer and water
I would assume the answer are well.
and,
So, if I may, I'm always opening.
hold on,
Oh, go ahead.
sorry.
I will.
You don't know if it was, what the permitting situation was on the trailer, right?
Right, no.
But there in 1959.
Is that what it was? Yeah. So what is it in that area today? Is it grass still? In that no build in that corner? It's all grass there, right?
Yeah, it's basically down to the, you can see the existing edge of, or limited disturbance, right
Yeah.
down near the wetlands.
Yeah.
That's all grass. And we could propose to set things, like I was saying, along that 30-foot no disturb, so it's clear that none of that area could be further altered.
Come on up. Just state your name so everybody's clear.
Yeah, so,
Thank you.
my name is Roy Copeland,
Thanks, Roy.
and, so yeah, Josh is here, and, so I just wanted to say that earlier, I knew that when we had met a few months back, that it was a tricky situation, and I've never owned a piece of property before going into it, so I ignorant, I guess, I got myself into this situation. So seeing what we had, I tried to look into putting a mobile home on it, just to make it narrower for different options, so it would appease everyone involved. And looking into that, that's not possible anymore. Comes up with the building commissioner said that there's a rule that no mobile homes can be going in now in that area. So I guess
What, because of zoning?
I guess, I don't know exactly what he had said, the reason why. And then he said that, so that was the reason why then I opted not to do the mobile home and then went back to the house plan. So I guess I just wanted to make everyone aware that I tried doing a different option that would make work for all parties involved. So if you have any further questions,
Thank you. We're trying to figure it out.
Yes,
I
I
understand
appreciate
it.
that.
This happens when, when you get a good looking lot and it's a decent price. Yeah, please. What happens is, it's why it's cheap.
Yeah.
Somebody already did the due diligence and saw that it's in the no build zone. Is that yours? So what I'm trying to figure out is, when it's previously disturbed, what does that do? Have you seen anything? Cause I've already done this, so I'm doing it again, but.
You've never done it in the past.
If
Why start now?
If it was a house that was there, they could add on to it. I don't have the extent of the house that would be in the 60 foot.
Yeah, it's a
As
lot.
presented.
I had a copy. Sorry. I just did this the other day, so I'm doing it again, but I'm just,
I'm sure you guys have read through the letter that Paul had sent over about the,
yeah. And even on some of the exemptions, I don't see an exemption for previously disturbed, no build.
Paragraph 650-14E.
What'd you say it was?
650-14E.
I don't even see a 14 in here. This is he stating the wetlands or our ordinance?
Wetlands Protection,
Act, but not our city ordinance, right?
Chapter 650. Yep, the Gardner City Ordinance.
Yeah, I know that's what it's called, but I don't, 14? These are variances though. It doesn't talk about anything about previously disturbed, that's what I'm trying to find something.
Well, I'll read you the quote that.
Yeah, go ahead, please, for the record.
Paragraph 650-14E, no disturbance and no build zones. Where a prior existing structure protrudes into or a prior existing alteration exists in a no disturbance zone or a no build zone, the commission may permit the extension of such non-conforming structure into or further alteration in such zones in accordance with its rules and regulations.
Can you see that again? Yeah, I know,
Is that ours or that?
this is ours.
Find it? Have water around there.
Yeah, but I'm looking for where it says previously disturbed.
We'll follow the altered.
This is just it says we have the right to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, I know that, we know that part, I mean, that hasn't changed in how many years you've been doing this? No, that's what we're trying to find, that. Go ahead.
I mean, I think I go back to my question about whether you want any part of the building.
Well, I prefer
This
not.
is too much, for sure. Question is whether you want that corner, because whether the driveway is on the left-hand side or not, you can design it so it's not going to the wetlands if you wanted to. So the question is whether we would allow any part of a building to be in it, as I see it.
Well, I don't have it here. One of the times you were back, you gave us 3 or 4 options, and one of them
Yep.
was, it was outside.
Well, it wasn't outside, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It was just a
Well,
smaller
one was,
corner.
one was, yeah, there was
It was a smaller corner.
what's wrong with this one?
Well, it's still a little bit of a corner.
Yeah, but
That's
it's
why I'm
better than
asking.
this.
Oh, I agree.
which option are you looking at? C?
Yes,
Which one? Yeah.
yes.
This isn't really what I'm looking for, though.
It does have a direct driveway on the other side.
Right.
I've just never had this issue before to know, but I know it says no build zone. The problem is it wasn't like there was, like you said, a foundation there. They took that foundation out, it was crumbling, they have to go back and repair it. When they repair it, they're gonna extend the house to the right or left or whatever, outside of that buffer zone, or the, no build zone. Somebody clear cut it back in '59 and put a trailer on top of it. Thank you for that info. I think that's what closely you had said too. But now we wanna dig into it, so it's. Let me see that, that last section, that one, would you guys be okay with that?
That's what I'm asking. Or at least look into those.
We've never done it, I keep saying it. We've
I know
never
we
done it.
never have, you and I
Why
have
do
been
we
at it
wanna,
forever.
why do we wanna do it now? I don't wanna do it now. I don't wanna do it now. You know, if you go back through all the history of the protected wetlands, everything, we'll just give us 10 feet, and give us 5 feet over here, no.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, our history is that we just don't do it,
No,
and I get it's a tricky lot.
yeah.
I think it would set a dangerous precedent.
Yeah, what are you guys' thoughts over there?
I feel the same way.
Yeah, I mean, we've done it for like 8 square feet, said now.
I feel a little torn on this too, because I think you've done an incredible job preparing yourself. I mean, this is good as somebody has done for a tricky situation. I'm just not 100% sure that I would vote not to do it.
I guess my only hangup is that it's historically been a site that had a structure on it that was lived in. I mean, if this was just a vacant lot with no sewer, no water, no structure ever running there, I wouldn't even be here.
Agreed, but it's like I said, if there was a dug foundation with footings and stuff that was already there, it's a little different. That's what we're up against. How many square feet in that, in this design is in the 60? What is that option number, is that?
Let's see, right?
Yeah, that's, yeah.
No, you got it.
Oh, you got it.
Sorry.
81 square feet.
This option right here, option D, how many square feet is that one?
D is 104.
What is this one now, the one you gave us tonight?
I have 200 and something. 293.
Cause I tend to say if we brought this up for a vote, it wouldn't fly. I don't wanna do that
Let
to
me
you.
ask something else. I mean, can you still design an L-shaped structure here? I mean, I know you haven't, but can you?
I mean, you can do anything, it's just a matter of. Yeah, I mean, like, if you're saying, basically cut that L right out,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're saying just
Down and,
jog it like this.
So that one side of the L would match the street and one side would match the driveway.
Yeah, that's a good idea,
it's
too.
rude, that's, oh, that's,
And then it would all be, most of it would be out of the 60 foot, so.
which one is this? Option C.
Good thing they
Do a,
did. Yeah, I think I did the same thing last time. Yeah, same, you can almost do that and turn it too. I mean,
What we can, I guess we can see if we can fit some sort of an L shape. I would just be hesitant going through to ZBA, being that close to the front setback. That's the other hang up we're gonna be going through is getting relief from the front
so
setback.
they're looking for us to make a decision before they
Yeah,
can make
yeah.
one. So I think if you make an L in that same footprint that you already have with the L boxing out the wetlands area, I think this commission will be a lot happier with that.
yeah.
And then maybe we could, see how that lays out with zoning on the DA. But,
Just, I'm a little hung up on that 62, just for clarification, just for the ability for variance, just so I can get caught up. So, I mean, I'm only speaking from, my limited experience as a conservation agent, but in the event where a commission were to either waive strict compliance or grant a variance in some cases, sometimes they would condition their order of conditions to almost do a potential give and take, in the sense if they had to compromise, or, well, not compromise, but if they had to forego a little bit of their, of more buffer than they would particularly like. So, I mean, in the case of, if you weren't to have them change the shape, would it be possible to, allow for a certain section of that, what is still going to be existing lawn that is somewhere near equivocal to, naturalized, but still allow them to still have the majority of the amenities and everything that they want in the lot?
I mean, you could make this L, just like we're saying right here. And let this nature take its course along that area.
Well, why don't we, look, we can talk about this till we're blue in the face, and then, we're not gonna get anywhere this way, so why don't you go back and see if you can make an L in here, and you'll be out of the 60 foot. Maybe you can, maybe you can't, I don't know. We'll continue till, what's the next meeting?
23rd.
Yeah, let's just give us some other options, we're trying to
Yeah.
work with you guys. Go ahead.
So, just, thought that I had when you mentioned about the foundation, the mobile home was on concrete blocks.
Yeah, I
but
know.
The blocks are extended in the ground about 3 feet, 3.5 feet.
Yeah,
So that, I just figured I'd mention that for
I
consideration.
saw that in the pictures.
Okay.
Just come back with some other options for us, so do as best you can, and for the December 23rd meeting.
Okay, yeah.
Someone like to make a motion to continue the,
I'll make that motion.
for the December 23rd, someone like to second that?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, guys, we're trying to work with you on it.
Yeah, I get it, thank you guys.
This yours?
Yeah.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah.
That one yours too, is that one mine?
Oh, yeah.
This one's mine. Alright, we're gonna go back to the top then,
Thank you.
thank you.
Yep.
Enforcement order sludge landfill. Dane came up and, kind of with Rob and gave us this potential fix on this one side. This first glance, I think it's a suitable proposal. You get that?
No, yeah, I gotta do
Okay,
something.
here you go, here.
Yeah.
So we're, to rectify this area.
It's a suitable Band-Aid.
Right.
It's a suitable Band-Aid.
No,
Right, but I mean, what else can they do?
Oh, I know, it's better than having discharge in there.
right.
I mean, there's other areas that we could discuss as well, but I think this one right now, those two. So I guess what we should probably do is maybe have like, Justin work with Rob and Dane to pull together a full NOI with some stamped drawings of what they're doing.
Couple of pictures would be good too.
Well, we have them, I
With
think.
extra pictures.
You got a couple pictures already of that area, you want?
Of this here?
Should be
Yes.
on,
Well,
there were a
Yeah.
couple on the agent,
Yeah, that's what I was
great,
saying.
but I can
Yeah.
take more.
Yeah. So if you could do that with Dane and Rob and kind of give us a good layout, and, if they can stamp that, that way we can at least say proceed on that, do the enforcement on this area, and then we'll can carry it out, for the other locations that are in
no,
question.
I'm gonna bring up something now. While you're talking with them too, ask them if they've heard anything about the, proposed, when they had that hearing, the way everybody was at.
Oh, yeah, that's,
And we've never heard a thing about that. Have you heard anything about that?
Yeah, Helen Russo, 211 Betty Spring Road.
Yeah,
That whole,
they were holding it from MIPA.
right, the appeal is on hold pending the completion of the MIPA process,
Yeah.
the standard
Yeah,
procedure. So is the permit for the landfill. Everything's on hold,
yeah,
so that's.
no, but we, for some reason, we never get back to anything like this.
well,
They may have something.
yeah, we get some emails on it, but so you're gonna proceed and get, pull this package together that we discussed. You're gonna get some pictures, lay this out, get a stamp drawing, and we'll bring it up at the 23rd meeting, okay? And then,
What's next?
We continue.
yeah, someone like to make a motion to continue the enforcement on sludge landfill to December 23rd
I'll
meeting?
make that motion.
Someone like to second that
I'll
motion?
second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We have two. We only have one on here, but I thought we had 2 meeting minutes in here. We really can't vote on both. No, there's only one. Yeah, there's 2 here, but only one on the agenda.
But they did say in any other complete.
Okay,
sentence.
okay,
Yeah.
so thank you.
Yep.
What's next?
We're gonna vote on meeting minutes
All right.
for the September 9th. So Corinne, you're not on this one?
Right, so I'm gonna abstain because
Thank you.
I wasn't there.
Someone like to make a motion to approve the meeting minutes of September 9th?
I'll make that motion.
Want to second it? All in favor?
Aye.
I abstain.
Thank you. The next one is November 25th, meeting minutes. Norman and David weren't there for that one. The present members, or someone can make a motion.
I'll
to
make a
approve
motion.
November 25th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approved, thank you. Good job on the meeting minutes. Got there's two of them now. Put them both. Thank you. You good then? Oh, you're yawning, okay. Next, going back to the second page here, any update on 170 Mill Street? What? Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. Yeah, we're going, sorry, I'm just, we have Pearl Street, W 2713-4, Gardner Conservation Commission will hold a joint public hearing under MGL Chapter 131, Section 40, the Wetlands Protection Act, and City of Gardner, Wetlands Protection Ordinance and a notice of intent filed by Trowbridge Engineering LLC on behalf of David Richard, 122 Smith Street, Gardner, for the installation of a driveway and utilities at Pearl Street, which is W 2713-4. Project is located within the buffer zone of the bordering vegetated wetland. This is DEP 1600672. Sorry, thank you. I'll wait for
Chris Mossman from Trowbridge Engineering. That's my testimony.
Listen, everything changed since 3 years ago.
No, other than the sewer and the water lines, stubs were put in while the order was in effect.
Okay.
So this is a plan that I prepared for Dave Richard back in 2020. Like I was just telling Duncan, the sewer and the water stubs were put in, and then the order expired. So Dave wants to get going on this again, so I filed a new notice of intent, and basically it's the same plan, other than, what work has already occurred. Just to kind of refresh you guys a little bit, we actually had a site visit with Duncan came out and Justin, and Corinne came out as well. And the remnants of the wetlands flags were still there, so I tied, new blue ones next to them so you can, the commission could view them at that point, and they're there for anybody else to go look at as well. So, what we're doing here is putting in a single family house and a driveway that's going to pass by the wetlands. As you can see on the plan, hopefully there's a delineated wetlands there, and it kind of spans the frontage of the property. And there's really no room on the left-hand or the east side, and there's a little bit of room on the right-hand side. And so I designed a driveway that goes in there, and we are 10 feet into the 30-foot no-touch zone. What I did is a few mitigating things to try and ensure that the wetlands would be protected. The driveway goes in, and I've got it sort of set up so that there's a high point and a low point, so that water from the high point flows down to a low point where I'm sending into a riprap channel and a leaching catch basin to take any of that water. I proposed a berm along the road there going in so that the water's not gonna hop over and go towards the wetlands, it's gonna go towards my catch basin. Further back into the property, on the other side of the high point, the water's gonna flow down and continue on past the wetlands to a discharge point that's, I think it's out of the buffer zone.
Sorry, I can't see the line there. Sorry, Chris.
Does that make sense?
How long is that driveway?
300 feet, I think, 350 something, top of my head, I don't, yeah.
And so again, we're going through the 30, right?
We are. But I do have the opportunity to really protect the wetlands. I know in the other one you were talking about how to enforce that, but I mean, here I think we have an ability through the construction process to mitigate that.
What is it? Is it gonna be gravel or pavement?
I'm assuming that it would probably be paved, yeah. Which I think would be better, it wouldn't be, we wouldn't have to do nearly as much maintenance on the catch basin.
So we just slope the driveway, this way?
Well, I've got
I see
yeah,
that, but-
there's a, so I mean,
Yeah.
I guess I would
What
guess
do
I
you
would,
recommend?
I guess I would wanna send it towards the berm, and then run it down towards the catch basin. Cause I've got an uphill slope on the other way, so the water's not gonna go that way, so I guess I would just put a cross slope that heads towards the berm.
Yeah, 'cause this all slopes that way anyway.
Yes,
So just-
yeah, and I have to make it, I'm making a cut, and I'm close to the neighbor on the other side too,
Yeah.
so it's gonna be, I think I've got a 2-to-1 slope there.
Yeah. What do you guys think over there? Can you see it, or do you wanna look at the bigger one?
Yeah, please.
Probably look at the same thing I just looked at.
So
What
this
are
is
your thoughts on
right here.
Bigger
Got a
one.
slope right here, these contours indicate that I'm proposing a berm to send water from my high point right here, down here to a catch basin. And from the high point here, the berm would continue, and we'd be out of the buffer zone. So, making an effort to try and make sure that we don't have anything, hopping it, and there's a detail showing how I would, a cross section.
Good plan, get the water going both ways.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
There's, it's in the middle.
So Chris, we're still waiting for DEP to come back with some sheets, some data sheets on this one?
Well, I mean, I can do that, I mean, it's, Mary Ann Pinto gave us a report,
I'd like to see those,
you would like to see those?
please.
Alright, okay, I guess I need a continuance to do that, I need some time. Not the best time of the year to try and get the.
I know, that's the only reason why we're kinda hesitant, that's why we were talking over here, but
Okay,
I'd like to see those,
alright,
and then we can clear everything else up and ready to rumble, I just.
okay, I mean, it's just pretty,
Can you get them in 2 weeks?
I'm gonna try.
Yeah,
I don't
try to
know.
get them,
I'm gonna-
let us know.
We're gonna get some snow off the ground here, so maybe, there's not an awful lot of plant life to look at right now.
Yeah.
And I think it's a pretty straightforward delineation, if you go down there, I mean, it's practically topographic.
Yeah,
It's,
get as much as you can on the data,
okay,
I mean, given the time of year, and maybe some historical pictures,
I don't think I took any pictures, unfortunately. Well, let's see what we can come up with, I'll see if I can come up with something.
yeah, and then, if you can get it to us a day or two before, because we know they're coming, we know what we're looking for.
Yep.
Before the meeting, then take it from there, so we'll continue it till the 23rd, if not,
Yeah, okay.
I'll
And
make-
I got, one other mitigation we did, I think, I think when we had the meeting, and the order conditions that we got said we were gonna plant some trees, so like, there were 10 to 20 trees, small stuff.
yeah, so maybe kind of note that as well.
Right, so yeah, so I mean, I would assume that would be again, and I think Mary Ann's report listed
Yeah, what she wanted.
some recommendations.
Yep, alright, someone like to make a motion
I'll make that
to
motion.
continue,
What's the next?
the
meeting?
23rd
23rd.
of December, someone to second that?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, folks. You guys wanna keep those?
Yes, please, thank you.
Great.
Alright, 170 Mill Street, got any update on that?
I'm continuing to do weekly periodic site checks to make sure there's no adverse impoundment going back. I've also sent out copies of the report to both Mr. Rasimowitz and also McCarty, because on file that was the engineer that was associated with the structure on 160-00658. Yep.
Engineer was there, huh?
Yep. And they just received the report, so it's gonna take them a little bit to analyze that, and I did also invite, Mr. Rasimowitz to come to one of our upcoming meetings. I did give him the list of meetings because he inquired about the dates and times of the meetings coming up. He said he would like to come.
I periodically check on it. You know, it's down to where it's not gonna go any lower. And there's nothing, and they're not breaking back any water. I mean, it's still a pond here.
Yeah,
It's a tenth of the size of what it was when the dam was in.
so who owns the land right now that we're discussing?
Under the tax parcel data, it said, or under half the mapping data, it says 129 South Main Street Corporation.
And can we test the city solicitor to look into this and see who legally owns the property right now?
We have a city solicitor,
Yes,
a new one?
Yeah. Yeah.
We do have a city solicitor.
Can you ask?
Yeah.
Who legally owns this? That's what we wanna know.
Well, January 7th.
Cause at one point we heard that there wasn't somebody,
Right, that's, yeah.
I wanna know from the city solicitor or the city clerk, who owns that lot? For the next meeting, for the 23rd, can you do that?
Well, when you did it
I know
before,
I'm asking a loaded question, but that's what I want.
I can do that.
Tax records, somebody, I think you're gonna have to call the clerk and the city solicitor on this one. That's what we need. Alright, I'm not gonna just beat this thing up.
Yeah.
Someone like to make a motion to continue 170 Mill Street to the December 23rd meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Someone second.
the
All in
second,
favor? Nature trail update, we, got some pictures, thanks Justin, you did note some damage to the sides of the, nature trail, the pavement starting to break, looks like some wheel, or some type of track piece of equipment.
Yeah, I wasn't so sure specifically as to whether or not it was due to, the fact that we're doing it so close to cold temps where cracks might be a little bit more common, or if it was because of the potential use of heavier equipment to get certain stones over there.
Yeah, I saw that too, and I think that just happened when they put the riprap there.
Yeah,
And that's only the first coat anyways, that'll all be,
right, yeah, because those
they gotta
are
put the final coat on in the spring.
Yeah,
But the problem is if any water gets up underneath there,
No, that won't happen, I don't
it's,
know.
the elevation,
The riprap was just put in there just in time,
okay,
that's right where they must have hit it when they went dumped the riprap.
okay, so just make sure we're tying bonds.
how's it work?
yeah.
Looks very good, I think.
Did you ride it yet?
I'm not gonna tell you.
Let's just keep it.
I know.
I watched it.
That's why he's smart.
But I will, make sure to contact Time Bond just so we keep that in our sights to
yeah.
make sure that.
I know, so the next thing is you're gonna put in the fencing,
Yeah,
which is good.
Yeah, that'll all be done. The other thing I see too, they did a little damage coming in, we knocked in a couple of gravestones with the trucks,
Whoa.
making a corner, they pushed them back, did you ever see that?
Where?
Just as you enter,
to the right or
Just
left?
as you enter the trail?
no,
No.
beginning of the cemetery,
Oh.
from the park as you go in, you just start to turn and go up the hill.
Oh. Where they had the detour where they went to their,
No, before that,
okay.
We'll just take a look tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, I can.
Just don't take a look, no.
right after, I only spotted one, because I could see the tire tracks, they just went right over in the grass and pushed that gravestone in.
Was it from that or was it from plowing?
No, that was
Oh,
before.
really?
Was before the snow?
It's when they were taking
Get the
those
truck
off.
all in there, they can't do the
Wow.
truck.
Yeah, well, no, not there, so just take a look at it, alright. Next is Ramsdale Pond, what do you got on that?
And, well, code
Yeah.
correct 170.
Okay. Yep, and then National Grid maintenance notification,
Yep, so a couple months ago, representation from LEC contacted the department to let us know of I believe it's a replacement of a utility pole. It's already within an existing utility blueprint, it's just replacing the structure and trimming back on a couple branches that may be impeding on the right of way. Because this is in service of public service structure, such as providing electricity or utilities, it's pretty much exempt from further review or further permitting requirement.
well, we can still say we want what we want for, some protection around there while they're doing the repairs, right?
I suppose so, yeah.
And we can't, they don't have to get a permit, they still gotta protect the wetlands while they do the repair, so that's.
They're pretty good at it.
No, they are,
They
Basically,
bring in
everything's
those
really good,
things that look.
Yeah, they mat it down.
And that,
yeah. When are they proposing to do this?
I think they were planning on doing it, between late fall and mid.
It's a 2-year project. When the lady came to tell us about it.
Yeah, I remember that, but this is not the same one, though, is it?
I think this is a minor maintenance one.
Okay.
I don't think this is the major one.
No, yeah, this
So
is not.
I think they wanna be doing this, they said late fall, midwinter is the time they wanted to do it.
Okay. Thank you. And then I see you're taking some classes. They're very expensive classes, you know, you should have probably brought that up to vote on.
I don't know why you're saying that.
They're very expensive.
You probably can't afford it.
Yeah, you know, I mean, yeah, the price of FREE, I would say that.
Free's got a cost to it.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm just taking a couple, free online informative
What did you
courses.
say, how much they cost?
I can't.
You don't wanna tell us.
It's free.
It's great. But it's, just a couple conservation related courses, about the Federal Wilderness Act of 1964, and.
Did you write that?
And looking at.
Did you help them write that, the 69?
Yeah, and,
That's good, yeah.
and a couple courses on how to do
And
some of
he's a hell
their.
of a politician, he really is.
Just let us know.
For somebody so young, he's
Yeah.
really good at it.
Yeah, let us know how it goes, and if you have any highlights for us, that'd be great.
Yeah, of course, I still have probably about 20 of them to take before I'm satisfied with it. The other one that I just wanted to kind of put in your guys' ear that I might be interested in doing later this July, Eagle Hill Institute up in Steuben, Maine, it's really close to Acadia, they're throwing on a week-long course, seminar and training on wetlands delineation,
And
identifying
where is this gonna be?
all the way up in Steuben, Maine. I'm gonna be
Where is this, in Arcadia?
near Acadia.
Eagle Hill it's called.
Yeah, I've seen
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, it's,
No, I know the organization.
yeah, and I'm looking into a lot of the details so far as, so far as cost, budget and everything, and I wanna just make sure that I am thorough with that before I
Don't forget your babies, too, you know.
Yeah, we're not paying for that,
that's
Just
fine.
get us some rough budgets
Oh, yeah, and
of
then-
what it could be with hotel and travel and fuel and food, so we can start talking about it with, and make sure that we have that covered.
Well, we don't need hotel and food.
Yeah, we need to make sure that we're okay for him,
Yeah.
in case he gets lost in the woods, we need to be there to help him.
Well, then you're paying for the GPS phone, right? No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
I'm kidding.
we already have a GPS on you, just don't know it yet.
Darn it.
Alright, that's awesome, I appreciate you taking that, extra effort and continuing your education. What else you got?
I guess the last two things I have, which unfortunately didn't make the, posting of the agenda. One, we did get our, first notification of our next fiscal year dues for NACC. I guess they say it's gonna be about, $320, but when we get closer to getting an actual invoice, we'll discuss it more. And then the last thing I kinda wanna open the discussion about, I guess briefly, is, I wrote an enforcement order, this past week, about, located on 36 Nicole Terrace. This was older development that was brought before the commission years ago. The house was built around 2000 to 2005 era. And I got a call from a party saying that there was a couple trees that were cut, but upon arriving to the site, I noticed that the lot was nearly clear cut, for however much you can get up until you hit wetlands, if not some parts of the debris or some piles of the debris are past the beginning of the wetlands, because if you were able to expand any of the pictures at all.
You gotta go and see it, it's a huge area.
Yeah.
It's almost behind the yin yang,
Yeah,
that's where it ends up.
Yeah, there does seem to be a bit of vegetation that's more akin to what's in the wetlands, that's on the inner side of the pile. So I did write a letter notifying the party that they are in violation of the act and our ordinance, and I did write an enforcement order saying that they will have to come before us to discuss the proper steps and procedures in order to return it back to, or restore it to where it's satisfactory.
It's a clear cut and they
I
cut,
saw it.
you've been up there?
Yeah, he sent me pictures.
Yeah, well, that was a Harrison Mowers project.
Did they file a cutting plan?
Less than an acre, so I don't know if they would have.
So much they
had
cut.
to- Yeah, yeah.
So I'm wondering, even that's a potential
Yeah,
violation too.
but I looked on things for Nicole Terrace, and the only things that I have are really for when the development was actually
Yeah.
in play. So I don't have any recent forest cutting plans or anything.
So who did the work?
Huh?
Who cut the trees down?
No, a quick question. They used to post a cutting plan when they.
Well, that's what I'm saying, if they,
Well, I mean,
There's nothing up there, there's no,
well, that's obvious, that's what I'm saying, so that's another potential violation, if they
Yeah.
cut that much, they should have had a.
I mean, it goes way, way back behind the house. It swings, you know, it's.
oh, I saw it, it's, yeah, you showed me a couple different angles.
Yeah, it does wrap behind the house too,
Just make sure that they come before us on the 23rd meeting.
so. Right, and I'm hoping that we can get in contact so I can actually go out there and, kind of lay count and take better photos to kind of just see what the maximum extent.
I made contact with the gentleman who said he owned it. And I told him, I said, don't have anybody do any more work until you get in touch with the town conservation agent.
Yeah.
He said he would,
Who owns it?
but he hadn't got that letter.
Not yet.
Well, he said he didn't have the letter, I don't know.
I haven't got the receipt yet, it's all certified mail we send, we do a joint receipt anyway. Who owns it?
I don't know the
You
name.
know the property owner?
It says, Aziz Ashraf, I think, was the
Okay.
primary name.
Just show them the paperwork so we can see it. Alright, anybody have any questions on that yet? Okay, they should come before us on the 23rd, so as you get that receipt, I'd call them and say, make sure you're here for the 23rd. At least, initial touch base.
You know him?
In the meantime,
He must have to get plans for it.
I haven't had a chance to go
No,
to,
no,
I will,
no.
yeah.
Alright,
Part of Gardner, I haven't.
good boy.
Alright.
yeah, anybody have anything else? Any other new business? What do you got?
One quick thing, I didn't give Justin the abutter notification,
Oh, that's fine,
and, but the other thing too is we had that old order,
yeah,
so I have a request for certificate of compliance for that old order to close it
but
up.
that's not on here, so we really can't do that now, right?
No, I'm just giving it to you guys so you're aware that it makes sense to get it done and get the old order done.
Yeah, we can probably evaluate that for next meeting.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what I was kinda hoping.
Yep, we'll give them the butters.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Justin. Okay, now,
It's busy. You had something else, David?
Oh, no,
Are you good, everybody good?
Yep.
Someone like to make a motion in tonight's hearing?
Motion made?
Yeah.
Want to second that motion? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Good. Good?
So, Dave, again, right?